Hello everyone. Before going into the video, first of all, I like to say really very thank you for all the support in the last 1 week. I'm feeling much better now. Again, thank you so much for all the support. I started posting these pre-market videos I think from the middle of September, and this is the first time I have missed to post it. Again, apologize. I haven't told this in any of my previous videos. The reason is it's not going to add any value for the stock market related or for the fact for your time. But there was really a overwhelming support last week. So I don't know how to thank it. At least I owe an explanation. Every day for the pre-market video, I do work for at least minimum of 5 to 7 hours for researching, script writing, making the video and finally editing it, since without the relevant pictures, it's really hard to understand it. At present, as most of you might know, I'm not based on India. So this is my typical weekdays, like every day during the daytime, I work on my other commitments. Then in the night, someday at 6 p.m. or someday at 7 p.m., I'll start researching it for the video. And then in the end, around 1:30 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning, I post the video and reply some comments and close the day. So that's my typical routine or typical day like. I'm not telling this as a complaint because I genuinely enjoy researching stocks and geopolitics, and that's what made me to run non-stop in the last almost 4 months. But what I like to convey is basically earlier I don't get any time to think or strategize how to improve this channel, etc. This break gave me the time to think, so I can try to do my best to make the channel better and informative. So I genuinely and truly, without a miss, I'll try to post every day, for sure, a pre-market video in the future. Again, thanks for all the support. Now let's discuss what we can expect on next week, that is January 3rd week, a week ahead video. As usual, I like to discuss this in two topics. First, short introduction about what happened last week. Second, what are the some important earnings economic calendar events we need to look out for. Regarding what we can expect on Monday, I'll make the pre-market video on Monday morning. First, in short, what happened last week? To be honest, it was one of the worst, very volatile week. For example, on Monday, Nifty was up by over 240 points. Then on Tuesday, down by 190 points. Again on Wednesday and Thursday, 20 and 40 points down. Then finally on Friday, it ended the week with around 100 points up. So in a week, Nifty closed 2 days positive and 3 days negative. But still, in contrast to week before last week, I mean the first week of January, last week all three Indian major index advanced. As a summary, on week basis, Nifty and Sensex increased near 0.6% and Bank Nifty increased by 0.43%. In comparison, in last 1 week, Nasdaq increased by 4.8% and Bitcoin increased over 20%. In terms of sector wise, Nifty IT was the top gainer, increased by 3.5%. Then metal increased by 2.6%, followed by auto. On the negative side, it just FMCG lost around 1%. In terms of stock specifics, Tata Motors was the top gainer in the Nifty index. In numbers, it increased over 7%, followed by Hindalco, JSW Steel, TCS and M&M all increased around 5%. On the negative side, Titan was the top Nifty loser, which lost around 4.7%, followed by Airtel lost by 4%. Then Reliance, Adani Enterprises, Bajaj Finserv all lost over 2.5%. Yesterday, I mean on Saturday, HDFC Bank released their quarterly earnings report. In one sentence, it beats the analyst estimates. If required, please pause the video and have a look. Year-on-year basis, net interest income increased by 24.6%. Profit after tax increased near 20%. Even the asset quality such as NPA and net interest margin all improved. Overall, the result was very positive for HDFC Bank. So that's all about what happened last week and weekend. Now let's move on to the next topic. What are the items, company earnings and macros we need to look out for the whole week? First, starting from Monday, January 16th. Regarding earnings, there is a schedule for release of Federal Bank and Bank of Maharashtra. Coming about macro, Around 12 p.m. Indian Standard Time, there is a schedule for release of WPI for India. I mean wholesale inflation. The analyst estimation or the expectation is 5.6%. So anything below 5.6% will be considered positive for the market. Just for info, last week India's consumer inflation came as 5.72%. Then at 12:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, there is a schedule for release of Germany's WPI data. This is a very important one for the global sentiment. Since last week, US inflation came as 6.5%. Even the whole Europe's consumer inflation itself started to decrease significantly. Only the remaining wholesale inflation is the problematic one. On November month, it came as 14.9%. So anything below 13% for December month will be considered very positive. Then in the aftermarket has again the important macro from Germany, economic sentiment indicator, which provides some insights in the country's economic outlook. Then on Tuesday, January 17th, there is a schedule for earnings release of ICICI Life, TV18 and Bank of India. In terms of macro, early morning before our market has at 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, there is a schedule for release of Q4 China's GDP growth rate. Last quarter, I mean in Q3, despite their zero policy, the Chinese economy advanced by 3.9% on year-on-year basis. This time the expectation is just 1.8%. Again, Chinese growth got the direct impact on Indian metal stocks. Then during our market hours from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there is a schedule for release of various European countries' consumer inflation data such as UK, Germany and Italy. Here, UK and Germany are the important one since in the last 2 months the data was very bad and immediately it made all the stock market all over the world to fall. So for sure we need to look out for it. Then on Wednesday, January 18th, on the earnings side, there is a schedule for release of IndusInd Bank, Persistent Systems and Central Bank of India. About macro, before our market opening at 5:30 a.m. there is a schedule for Japanese interest rate decision. If you remember last month, as soon as the Bank of Japan released their view about widening their target band in their 10-year bond yield, all market around the world tumbled. Even Nifty crashed over 200 points on that particular day. Then after our market hours at 3:30 p.m., it's Europe's inflation data. The expected and projected consumer inflation data number is 9.2%. So anything above, especially for Europe as a whole, is a very negative sentiment. Anything below is positive. Then in the night at 7 p.m., there are a couple of US related macro or scheduled release such as US retail sales data and US PPI data, I mean producer price index. For December month, the expected PPI data is 6.8%. Regarding retail sales data on month basis, the expectation is to contract around 0.8%. Coming to Thursday, January 19th, regarding earnings, there is a schedule for release of Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints, AU Small Finance Bank, Havels India, Hindustan Zinc, ICICI Securities and L&T. In terms of macro, after market hours, there is a schedule for bunch of US housing data release such as building permits and new house starts. I'm guessing market to expect the bad data since any positive data will signal further aggressive interest rate hike by US Fed. Then it's usual Thursday, US weekly initial jobless claims and crude oil inventories data. Regarding jobless claims, market expecting the bad number so it can slow the Fed aggressiveness. Then regarding inventories, crude oil addition can put pressure on oil price since it already crossed 85 US dollars per barrel due to last week's very good US consumer inflation data. Then finally on Friday, January 20th, on earnings side, JSW Steel, HDFC Life, Bajaj Holdings, Bandhan Bank, JSW Energy, Petronet LNG and Union Bank of India. Regarding macro, early morning before market hours, there is a schedule for Japanese inflation data. Then during our market hours, UK retail sales data at 11:30 a.m. So these are the items we need to look out for in the upcoming week. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and it will also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I am doing it for my and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.